Rip the chipmunk was wide awake. She had not slept a wink all night. When finally her eyes were drifting shut, all of a sudden she heard a snore meep, snore peep. What is that sound? She wondered. Rip scurried to the next tree over, where a family of squirrels had fallen asleep on top of all their acorns. With each new snore, they wormed and squirmed. Maybe if I can make them more comfortable, they won't snore so loudly and I'll be able to sleep, Rip said. She gathered up all the acorns at the side of the room so the squirrels could sleep. Soon, each squirrel snoozed silently. Rip sat down and dozed off when she heard a snore, ooh, snore, ooh. What animal snores like that? Rip ran out onto a branch where an owl snored. Each snore was being muffled by an acorn in its beak. Oh no, maybe if I can knock that acorn out, he won't snore so loudly, and I'll finally be able to sleep, Rip said. She took a branch and poked the acorn out. With the owl's beak closed, she could finally breathe. Rip leaned back against the tree and was almost asleep when she heard a snore, snarl. What animal snores like that? Rip followed the snores down the tree to a den where a family of bears lived. Mama Bear's big mouth was held open by a piece of a branch. No wonder she's snoring. If she could shut her mouth, she could breathe more easily, and I'd finally be able to sleep. Rip nabbed the branch, and Mama Bear's jaw closed shut. Mama Bear rolled over and fell asleep with her bear cubs by her side. All was quiet, and Rip's eyes grew heavy when she heard a snore, huff, snore, roar, snore, huff, snore, snort. Rip raced out of the den to find the forest alive with a symphony of snuffling and snoring. That must be every animal in this forest. I'll never, ever be able to sleep now, Rip said, her eyes wide awake. And she did not doze, she did not fall asleep, and her eyes did not grow heavy. The snores continued. Then, for just a moment, she thought back on the squirrels. She thought about the owl. She thought about the bear. Even if I can't fall asleep, and even if I don't sleep a wink, at least I can help them, Rip said. So she went from animal to animal, nudging, rubbing, and hugging until each had nodded off to sleep. Rip braced herself for a snore snort, or a snore snarl, or even a snore meep. But no snores came. Rip headed to her tree, where she sat, leaned back, rubbed her eyes, and let her eyelids grow heavy, just waiting, 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 until snore.